Utopia. Basically.
Yeah, and like the kids are like walking around and seeing that, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a part and
they kind of like reuse like gun models. Like,
exactly, and they're like, oh, it's the repeater, but it just shoots faster.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck? Like, why couldn't this just be the regular gun and just have it as an upgrade? Alright, welcome back to some more San Andreas. In the last episode, we were talking about BioShock and how BioShock is garbage. Well, BioShock Infinite is garbage. That's my take.
You like BioShock 2 more than BioShock.
BioShock 1 and 2 is a lot better than BioShock.
So BioShock 1, 10 out of 10?
No,
9 out of 10?
I'd give it like a solid 8.
Okay, BioShock 2?
BioShock 2? That's like an 8.5, like a 9. Cause like,
oh, you like BioShock 2 more than 1? Really?
Yeah. Cause like, well, here's the thing with BioShock 2. Cause like,
most people like BioShock 1 more just cause it's mainly because the story's a little bit more memorable in that one with all the twists and everything.
Yeah, cause like in the first one, like you're like, oh my god, this guy that who was trying to help me, apparently like I'm a slave and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, there's all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then in BioShock 2, honestly, I like BioShock 2 because it talked more about the big daddies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Their like the test subjects that like the people that they use for the big daddies were actually like either prisoners or people who went up against the ideology of like the prison.
Of Andrew Ryan, yeah.
So like that was really fucking cool, and like how there was multiple versions of the big daddies and stuff like that. True. And how like the little sisters were supposed to like collect Adam, and like especially like when you play as like the little sister. Because in BioShock 2, like, there's a point where, like, Eleanor, which is the girl that you were connected to, she's grown up, and you're trying to connect back to her. And she gives you an ability to the point where, like, you see in the eyes.
Wait, this is an important story bit. Oh, shit. Before you start.
So, some ballers hanging around a dope spot.
The ballers, bro?
Just watch.
Yo!
What the fuck?
Yo!
And it's
Big smoke.
Big smoke.
Hey
yo, CJ, it's not what you think, homie.
Bro.
And it's the cops.
The cops too, bro.
I'm just looking for my number 9.
They're using the car that like they shot my mom in.
Oh my god.
Crash making you sell us out? Moms.
Sorry,
bro, my mom's
I
little.
heard a rumor poked around. I didn't believe myself, but
mom.
No.
When I was a kid, when I played this, I was like,
bro, no, Big Smoke. Big Smoke. I remember your name, but yet Big Smoke, what you do that?
Fuck. Sweet. Look, go get Kendall.
okay, but I'll be honest though, for this story, I wish there was more time with Ryder, because I just don't.
You don't really.
Why does Ryder like fucking betray us? They don't really explain that.
I don't know.
It's mainly just for money,
Yeah.
I think. But I'm gonna take this card.
Yeah. But again, with the BioShock, like you get an ability where you're able to see through the eyes
Of the little sister.
Yeah, and the way they see it, right? Because you know, like they're test subjects as like themselves, right?
Yeah.
And you know how like whenever they're walking around and they're like, "Oh, I see an angel" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They in their eyes, everything is perfect.
It's like a hallucination. From
Yeah.
the Adam.
Yeah, from the Adam that like because the little sisters have so much Adam in them.
Yeah.
That like they see the world as like as a super fancy rich type stuff where there's like perfect statues, perfect running water, there's no like destroyed blood and stuff like that,
like
right?
Utopia,
Yeah, and like the kids are like walking around and seeing that, right?
Yeah.
And there's like parties going on and stuff like that, but when they see like they say like, oh, they see an angel, it's literally someone dead, and like there's angel like marked wings on the floor, and they see it. So that's why they say like they see an angel. See, like that type of shit, right?
Like world building, basically.
Yes, like I want to know more about Rapture. Like, yeah, we got deeper into like Rapture and stuff like that, but there's got to be more, you know?
Yeah.
Like what it like. I don't know what they could have continued. Maybe they could have like found like some like unexplored experiment of like big brains, you know?
Yeah.
Where like they become even more grotesque and more dangerous and stuff like that.
What the fuck?
Plus, like the classic mechanics for upgrades and stuff like that in BioShock Infinite were just garbage. Because you can't, in BioShock 1 and 2, you could carry like 8 weapons, right?
Yeah.
You got your melee, and then you got a bunch of other weapons like RPGs, shotgun, SMGs, and...
Oh, was it? I think, yeah, in BioShock Infinite, you can only have 2 guns at once, right?
Yeah, you can only have 2 guns.
It's in that era of FPS games, I remember. Like the Call of Duty era.
Yeah, and that was stupid, because then they're like, oh, you can upgrade your weapon, and it's like, oh, yeah, I can upgrade my weapon after like hours of just trying to find so much money, right?
Yeah.
And then it's not a specific upgrade on your weapon, because in BioShock 1 and 2, there's a specific upgrade station, and yeah, there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
But the ones that you do find, you can upgrade a specific weapon because it's the weapon that you constantly be using.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I don't really care about these other weapons, but I can at least definitely upgrade this weapon, and it'll give me a specific upgrade.
Yeah.
In that one, there's only upgrades for only so many of the guns. And like the guns that you use, right? Like they give you upgrades for guns that you haven't even picked up yet.
Yeah.
And once you finally pick it up, like
You got a bag over your head, boy.
it's like either the gun is just garbage and you don't like how it runs or like shoots, right?
Yeah.
But only because
And
you
then
said please.
They kind of like reuse like gun models. Like,
exactly, and they're like, oh, it's the repeater, but it just shoots faster.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
Intimidate
so it's
those
like,
who
what the
intimidate
fuck? Like,
others,
why couldn't
bro.
this just be the regular gun and just have it as an upgrade?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. That was pretty like lame
Hey, man,
of the
where
original
we at?
game.
And then the tonics,
Middle
it's
of
like,
fucking nowhere.
what the fuck?
And
Like,
I mean, you get crows, you get fire, you get ice.
I didn't use all of them though. That's my issue. They made these
You get,
cool
like,
little
a
animations.
green ghost too, I
Alive
think.
and
Or
in
something.
That's the very first one
He's
you
in
get
a
to
prison
control.
hospital,
Yeah.
being treated for gunshot.
But like,
awaiting trial.
I don't know. It's like the tonics were just garbage
Somehow nobody's caught you yet.
in BioShock Infinite.
Oh yeah. You
Because
should
in,
be
in,
glad,
in
Carl.
BioShock 1, I
You
mainly
moron
just used the
brothers
electricity,
alive,
right?
your street
I
Yeah.
didn't use
soon to
anything
be
else,
turned
'cause it
out
will always
sisters
stun people.
alive.
Yeah.
In
And
BioShock
she's
2, I
only
used
sucking
more
one
ice,
greaseball's dick.
fire, and electricity.
Things are
So they
going
really
pretty well for you,
incorporated
Carl.
where like, okay, like
So
electricity
behave,
was just
nigga.
broken in the first one.
Yeah.
We want
So
you
in
to
the
do
second
a
one,
favor
you
for
have
us,
to
Carl.
upgrade it, and even still, when you upgrade it, it's still not as good as the very first one.
Yeah.
So you have to use different tonics.
I can't
But in
believe this
BioShock-
nigga Smoke
BioShock
turned
Infinite,
on me. Smoke.
They don't feel powerful.
Smoke does exactly what he's told. He learned
They
that
they
lesson
just
a
feel
long
as
Yeah,
a
they
hassle.
kind of like
Take it
they
in,
stun
homies, for life.
the people.
Street
Yeah,
boy,
but like even
That's all
then,
bullshit,
it's just
Carl.
so fucking like
You learned that when they ran you out of town.
like
just 'cause
I would
you let
shoot it out, but I
Brian
wouldn't feel as if like yeah, like these tonics are super
Yeah, that
useful.
can't
I
be
like
this
I would
guy's
generally
idiot.
just forget I
You
could
can't
use
air
a
this
tonic
fucker out.
die.
Yeah.
No.
because I could just shoot them
officer.
down and kill
Bro,
everybody.
this dude trying to
Let this
shoot
kid
me,
do
bro.
something good with his useless life.
So
He's gonna help
that's
you
that's
fight against
that's
crime.
one thing that also pissed me off because BioShock was
Yeah.
known to have
By
this
any means
this like
necessary.
mechanic,
Now
you know,
stay the
Yeah.
fuck away from
where
smoke.
like oh you
stay
can't
the
shoot
fuck
this
away from
guy,
us.
make it a little bit
Otherwise,
easier by
he's gonna
stunning him
find
with an
himself on
electricity
the baller's
or
block,
like
getting in touch with his
Smack him with
feminine
a wrench.
yeah.
side. Hey Hernandez, you
There
gonna
was
play
no
all day?
melee weapons in BioShock Infinite, was there?
There wasn't. Well,
No.
yeah, there's a melee attack, but there was no melee
Some
weapon.
of our methods.
No.
What was the attack? Was it just like you
Yeah,
bash your
you'll
gun or
never
some
find
shit?
that.
No, it was like this special hook that you can like.
Oh, the hook. Yeah, I forget the
Soon as
hook.
he gets
But
caught
the
with his hand in the
animations
cookie
where you
jar,
kill the dudes was pretty.
I would
cool.
barely use it though because I would get shot up like crazy.
You wanna be like, there would be like arenas around in the game where you can go on the skyhook and then just like go around.
Yeah, I
And
can.
then you
Yeah,
can smack them, you know.
yeah, I use that a lot, right?
Yeah.
But like there was like also like the upgrades. Like I barely even changed any upgrades. Cause like there's the upgrades where like to your character where like oh if you bash him you get health back or you bash him like you get like electricity like you hit with electricity and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I barely used them. Like or I barely changed any of the new ones that they gave me. So I was like, cool. I got these new like they keep giving me these new things where like oh like now you'll be able to fight like big hand daddies or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like I would barely use them because you barely go up against that type of enemy like you only go up against it like probably like 3 or 4 times in the game. Every other enemy is like just rehashed like enemies that you see. It's like Mario, like you reusing like a Goomba, and they keep giving you like upgrades.
Yeah, I do remember that in Infinite. There wasn't too much variety for the people.
Yeah, they keep giving you upgrades to go up against like a flamethrower guy, but you barely even see the flamethrower guy. You only find him like 3 or 4 times.
The only Big Daddy-esque that I remember was like the
hand
robots.
Guy. Yeah, Mr. Handy.
The robots that are supposed to be like the presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
There's that guy. There's an upgrade for that guy, and you do see him a lot, but you can really just fight him pretty fucking easily to a point where like you don't really need an upgrade.
Yeah.
For him. And not only that, like the the new version of the Big Daddies are the Mr. Handies or whatever, and they were pretty easy to fight too.
Mr. Handy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like BioShock could have been just 10 times better. I would give BioShock like a 6.5 just to be nice.
Damn.
Cause like there was just plus like the story felt fast.
It was a pretty short game from what I remember.
Yeah.
Too. So,
because like BioShock 1, there's a constant replayability because you're looking for little sisters. And BioShock 1 and 2, that's what made it like fun because you're looking for little sisters to get the good ending and to avoid the bad ending.
Yeah, there wasn't like multiple endings.
And that's what pissed me off even more. There is choices that you can make, right?
Yeah.
And those choices didn't matter. There's a choice where you can kill like the guy who was talking shit about you and about your past.
Yeah.
And like you could shoot him and you could spare him. I thought like, you know what, I'm gonna spare him and like Elizabeth is gonna like change and stuff like that, just like in BioShock 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But no, you end up just dying no matter what you do.
Yeah, you die.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what's the point of giving me that choice?
Bro, it's just to give you the choice, though.
It's stupid. No, if you give me a choice, so then I can change my ending or outcome of people around me.
They just pulled a telltale on you, bro.
Exactly.
Your actions have consequences, though.
And then, like, that it on itself, right? Is just what just annoys me, cause like, you don't give me that like, and then, no, it's not even that. They I got so invested as to like who is the main character? Why does he have such a dark past? They don't go any further into his dark past. They just keep going like, don't worry about it. I just did a lot of bad stuff for the Pinkertons.
No, I mean they did kind of briefly touch on it. It's
yeah,
he was part of the army, and then there was the Wounded Knee massacre where they massacred like a whole tribe of Native Americans, and then he has fucked up PTSD over that, and then that's why he was trying to repay the debts that he kind of like has.
Yeah. So with Elizabeth?
Was it with the Pinkertons or was it? I don't know.
No, he helped he was hired by the Pinkertons.
Yeah.
Because he was a mercenary.
Yeah, to repay his debts that he has from the past of like, you know, like alcoholism and stuff like that he got.
Yeah. But it kind of like knowing all of that, just for him to die at the end, just kind of like makes it like what was the point of fighting all these people, finding Elizabeth, just for me to die?
Yeah. You die no matter what. You die in the game, you die in real life.
Exactly. But we could talk about this in the next episode.